Today we are going to talk about Johann Pachelbel. Everyone thinks of him as this one-hit wonder. However, he actually had much more influence on the Baroque era than most people realize. Johann was born in Nuremberg, Germany in 1653. His family was not very wealthy. However, he had such a talent for music that his parents made it a point to make sure he had a musical education, which worked out. By his early 20s, he was already known around Germany as being an outstanding organist and an outstanding composer. People loved the clarity of his lines, and he had such a deep understanding and appreciation for music. Pachelbel was a very prolific composer, much more than just canon and D. He wrote a lot of organ works, he wrote choral works, he wrote fugues. He wrote a whole lot, but besides being a great composer and well appreciated, he was also a teacher, a music teacher. One of his students was a young man named Johann Christoph Bach, who is Johann Sebastian Bach's older brother. He was very influential with all the Bach family and the way they created music. Actually, he was a very close family friend. He was a good friend of their father, Johann Ambrosius Bach. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Johann Sebastian Bach was one of many in the Bach family who were very good composers. And this guy, Johann Pachelbel, was very influential in their music as well. Johann Pachelbel, he wrote rich melodies and he had clear counterpoint, which is what Bach was very known for, and rich harmonies. All that is stuff he taught to his student, who taught his younger brother. Musically, he was on top of the world. However, privately, he had a wife and a child that he loved dearly, and they both died from an illness that was going around at the time. He was very sad. You can hear it in the music that he composed afterwards. There's some very sad organ pieces. But then a little bit later, he meets another lady. They fall in love, they get married, and then he has 7 children. He died in 1706, but by this time he was a very well-loved and very well-respected composer all throughout Europe. Now, after the fact, people say his music was a bridge between the Renaissance and the Baroque music. If you study him, he has so much to do with what we listen to now, so much more than just Pachelbel canon and D. I don't think he would have ever thought that that little piece would have been the thing that we all know. It was originally written for 3 violins and a bass. It's very simple. It's just 8 measures that can overlap anywhere. It is a canon, and everyone knows it. And it maybe perhaps because of its simplicity is what we love so much about it. But see, there's more about him than just one.